Hello, beautiful people. Hope everybody's had a great week. As always, I want to say thank you guys. I appreciate you guys very much. Thanks for listening, watching, paying attention. I really appreciate the support and the messages. You guys are awesome. Thank you. So let's get down to business. I should know better than to try to make a video while I'm not in a good mood. A little frustrated today, a little irritated. And when I get frustrated or irritated, my emotion of choice is anger. So I hope I don't sound too angry today. I'll try to keep it light. I'm very limited on my vocabulary, and for years and years, my vocabulary of choice was four-letter words. Most people that have known me for a long time, I swear a lot, I cuss a lot, and today, every day, pretty much now, I put in a conscious effort to not swear, not cuss. It's a lot of work for me. Like I said, I've got a limited vocabulary. A lot of times, when you have a limited vocabulary, those words are very impactful and they carry a lot of weight. So when you have trouble describing what's on your mind, using four-letter words will elicit some emotion from the listening party or the person that's in earshot. Even if it's not the right emotion that you're trying to elicit, it will at least elicit some kind of emotion because it's harsh, it's vulgar, and it kind of piques your attention. And um, yeah, like I said, it's vulgar and offensive. So sometimes that's the easiest thing for me to grasp because like I said, I don't have much of a vocabulary. So the f bomb, stuff like that's usually what comes out of my mouth, and people that have known me for a long time know that. So um, I put a very deliberate effort into regulating my speech and regulating what comes out of my mouth, and it's effort. And a lot of times I question myself as to whether or not I'm being true to myself or being authentic enough when I'm not swearing or not cussing because I feel like I'm holding back who I really am. And then I go in this doing these mental gymnastics of, is that really who I want to be? Is that the kind of how I want to represent myself? Is that how I want to represent my business, my family, my friends? And do I want to be known as that person? Is that the best I can do? Like I am torn between being true to myself and this is how I talk and this is how I speak versus is that the best I can do? So um, I'm frustrated, I'm irritated today, and I'm trying not to cuss during this video, and I'm going to do my very best not to. But and some good things happen today too, so I just don't want to pour on the bad things. Some really great things happen today. I got to see a friend today that I probably hadn't seen in 10 years, maybe more. Got to spend a couple hours talking with them, and it was a good visit. And then I also talked on the phone with a friend I hadn't seen in a couple years that's in Colorado right now. So both good things. A lot of good things came out of those conversations. Some really interesting things came out of those conversations, and we'll touch on those later. Um, but what has me heated right now is, God, I don't even know where to start. Today, within a mile of my house, a 16-year-old was shot and killed. And 2 weeks ago, within a mile of my house, a man was stabbed to death. And I know that in our society and in our world, we will amplify the things that we notice, and then we will notice more of those things. So if you think about crime, or if you think about, you know, rape and murder and robbery, those are in violence, those are the things that you're going to draw out of society, and you're going to start seeing them more and more. You're basically going to manifest more and more of it because you're looking for it. Um, but why does it feel like every time I pick up my phone or I get on social media or I turn on the news that it's constantly rape and murder and molestation and stabbing and shooting and riots and boarding up windows because they're having a political conference in Chicago this week, and then there's bombs blowing up in this country, and this country's air raiding this country, and there's this terrorist attack. It's like it's constant. Like you cannot get away from it. And those of you that are away from it, please tell me your secret. How do you just disconnect from all this craziness and madness and it not come in contact with your life? Like, how do you get away from it? Because I feel like I cannot get away from the violence. Like, is this who we are as a creature? Is this who we are as people, as beings? Like, are we just violent savages that are just like so drunk on power and control that we just cannot help ourselves, that we're just going to go through life like killing, raping, murdering, maiming? I just, is that it? Is that it for us? Is that really it? Is that the peak of our existence? Is it just going to be a power struggle of raping, murdering, killing, stabbing, shooting? Like, blowing each other up. Like, is that it? Is as far as we're going to evolve? Is that it? Is that where we're going? Like, this is madness. This is absolute insanity. Like, and I don't even know how. Like I said, I don't even know how to get away from it. Like, I live in a fairly small town that's in a metro area of a bigger city. There's probably 20,000 people in my city. 2 murders in 2 weeks. Now, again, I know if you try to extrapolate that over the course of a year, you're going to come up with way more murders than there actually going to be in this city. And I know there's way more violent places to be in the world. There's way more violent places to be in this country. I've been to countries where it's way more violent, way more dangerous. And it's strange. Like, I feel safer in a more dangerous country than I feel in this country. And I don't even know why that is. Like, I don't walk down the street worried I'm going to get robbed or mugged or whatever. Like, none of that bothers me. I don't think about that all day long every day. But at no point when I was visiting these other countries did I ever did crime or my well-being ever cross my mind. And maybe it's because what I see when I do pick up my phone, or maybe it's because what I see when I do hear what's going on in town. It's because I don't think of it when I'm on vacation or visiting another country, but I think about it when I'm here. So maybe that's why I live in the delusion that it's not going on there. But is this really the best we can do as a creature and a species? Like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? Like, all the technology in the world, all the progress we've made, everything that's going on in the world, and this is the best we could do. Everything that we know about the human condition, everything we know about, food, water, shelter. I mean, our air is garbage. There's our pollution, whatever you want to call it, like whatever they're spraying in the sky to affect the weather, like the geoengineering or whatever you want to call it, is polluting the air that we breathe every single day. We cannot, go to a grocery store and tell me what's not processed. Go to a grocery store and tell me what is not processed. If you go to a grocery store, you are basically just buying varying degrees of processed food, varying degrees. Like, even the produce section is processed in some way. Like, it's not even like an apple. You can't even just go buy an apple anymore. Like, it's got stuff sprayed on it. The farm where it was raised has, chemicals and who knows what, like bug spray, and I mean, who knows? And then they spray stuff on it to make sure it sits on the shelf for longer than it really should. Like, there is no such thing as organic food at the grocery store. It cannot exist. Like, you're just buying varying degrees of processed food. So the air is trash, the food is trash, like the chemicals in our drinks and our water, like, I mean, our medical care. Like, I'm frustrated. I'm irritated. We're out here stabbing each other. We're out here shooting each other. We're out here poisoning each other. Like, is this really what it's all about? Is this really what our existence is all about? Is just poisoning each other and stabbing each other and shooting each other? Like, is this really it? Is this really it? Like, and part of the conversation I have with my friend today, like, she's going through some difficult stuff, some like really difficult stuff, heavy, difficult stuff. And she said today, like, if this is it, like, I'm turning in my chips. I'm cashing out. Like, this is it. If this is it, if this is the best we can do, if this is like all I had to look forward to every day, like, I'm out. And I get that mentality. I've been there. I know what that feels like, for there to be hopelessness and everything feels like it's meaningless and pointless. And like, you look out your window and you pick up your phone, you turn on the news, like, you go outside your house, like, if this is the best we can do, like, if this is seriously the best we can do, like, I mean, I can't drive down the street without having to dodge, like, avoid a car accident. Like, that's crazy. Like, we just do not care. We are so disconnected from each other as human beings. We do not care about the survival or the well-being of another being and another creature. We just do not care. We are so self-centered creatures. We only care about ourselves and where we're going and what we're doing and how we're doing it. And, nobody's going to get in our way. And it's all about money and power and greed and more for me and less for you. And F the other guy, basically. I mean, it's insane. It's pure insanity, and it's frustrating. And I understand. Like I said, I've been to this place mentally, and it's not a good place to be. But if this is the best we can do, like if this is the best we can do as a species, and the best we can do as a culture and a society, as the most advanced civilization that's ever walked the face of the planet, okay, if this is the best we can do, like that's not good. We're not in a good place right now. Like this is not a good place to be. I mean, I understand that there have been much more difficult circumstances for people living in the past. We're blessed with, electricity, air conditioning, heat, automobiles, running water, like soap. Like I'm not naive to think that we don't have a lot of things that historically through the history of mankind that they haven't had. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying with all the technological advancements that we've ever had, that this is where we are as a species, that we're still just trying to annihilate each other, to exterminate each other, to wipe each other off the face of the planet somehow, some way. Like it's just so freaking bizarre. And I can understand why people look at this and check out every single day. If they're like, if this is it, I can see why abortion is the way it is. People just like, oh, I'm not bringing a baby into this world. The birth rate is so far down. I'm not going to bring a baby into this world, and I'm going to abort this baby for whatever reasons, economic reasons. The world's a terrible place. It's not easy. It's hard. I don't want to do it. Whatever. Like birth rates are down for whatever reason you want to call them. Their birth rates down, and I understand. Like not wanting to bring a child into the world as you see it. And then to be gaslit by some people and tell you, it's okay. Everything's going to be okay. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. Like, how can you be a rational thinking human being right now and not be a little bit worried about what you see going on around you in the world? Like, how can you not be a little bit concerned about any one of these conflicts or wars going on anywhere in the world could escalate at any point? Like, we think because it hasn't happened yet that it's never going to happen. Like, we are so spoiled as a creature, particularly in the United States. We're so spoiled to our way of life that we just think that because it hasn't happened yet that it'll never happen. And that is, to me, the most bizarre, naive, dumbest beliefs you could possibly have. People think that, the US dollar is going to be the gold-backed, world currency forever. I don't believe that. People think that we're going to have this constitutional republic forever. I don't believe that. All these things that we're just used to, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, like all these things, people just take them for granted. Like I don't for 1 second think that this is going to last. Tomorrow might be the day. Tomorrow might be the day where all the house of cards comes crashing down. I mean, we've been circling the drain for I don't know how long. Tomorrow might be the day. And we think that, it's not going to be that much different if things change. I mean, that much different. We have no idea. We have no idea what tomorrow holds or what tomorrow looks like. But we think that because we wouldn't do it to somebody else, that they wouldn't do it to us. And that is probably the most naive, ignorant belief you could possibly have. And I'll use this as an example. And I try to cut this short. Like I said, I'm trying to keep the videos a little shorter. But about a week ago, I was standing outside. I smoke cigars. So I was outside having a cigar, and somebody I know walked up and started talking to me. And they noticed a wasp was on my shoe, was on my leg. And they're like, "Hey, you got a wasp on you." And wasps don't bother me. It didn't freak me out. I've been stung by a wasp before. It's not comfortable. It doesn't make me feel good. But I'm not one of these people that has to crush and kill everything that comes across my path that I don't like. I don't go out of my way to kill snakes. I don't go out of my way to kill stuff just because it's inconvenient for me. I don't go crushing spiders if I don't need to. I don't kill wasps for no reason. Like, I don't think I'm special. I don't think I'm that high above the, on the food chain that I can just crush and kill everything that's inconvenient for me. So this guy tells me, "Hey, there's a wasp on your shoe or on your leg," whatever it was. I was like, yeah, no, it's a big deal. He's like, "Oh man, that thing's gonna get you, man." And of course, he goes on to tell me the story about how a wasp stung him, on his private parts, which is kind of a funny story. But anyway, I've been stung by a wasp. It sucks. It doesn't feel good. But again, I'm not going to kill this wasp before it does anything, before it stings me, on the off chance that it's going to sting me. If a wasp or a bee comes around me, I don't just kill it just to kill it because it might sting me. That's not the kind of person that I want to be. It's not the kind of person that I am. So I'm going to let this wasp live, and it's going to make whatever choice it's going to make. It's going to make whatever choice it is to fly away, to whatever. If it decides to sting me, decides to sting me. Well, him and I are talking for a couple of minutes, And sure enough, this wasp had made its way up onto my shirt, up onto my neck. And I felt it crawl off of my shirt onto my neck. And I went to get it off of my neck just because, there's a bug crawling on your neck. That's what you do. And it stung me right there on my neck. And of course, when I got it off, it stung me like, that's it. Yeah. Okay. Now I've got pain here. Now it's starting to swell. Now it's starting to itch. And I did not regret even, for days. I mean, I'm telling you, for days, this thing was like itching and burning and whatever's right on my neck. It was ugly to look at, whatever. But for days after that, like, I did not regret not killing the wasp when I first had the opportunity. Like, there was no guarantee that wasp was going to kill me, or that wasp was going to kill me. There was no guarantee that wasp was going to sting me. So I didn't have any reason to kill that wasp before it stung me. So that's how I approach a lot of things. And I don't go out of my way to crush or kill things on the off chance that something bad's going to happen. So when I'm looking at society now, when I'm looking at the world, just because I wouldn't kill a wasp before it stung me, that doesn't mean that other people wouldn't. A lot of people out here, I think that because I wouldn't hurt somebody, that they wouldn't hurt me. And that's naive and stupid and ignorant. And I've been burned. I can't tell you how many times in my life by people that I trusted, people that I gave them the rope to hang me with. Because I wouldn't do it to them, they did it to me. But I wouldn't do it to them. I trusted that they were going to treat me the same that I would have treated them. And life doesn't work that way. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to go around crushing and killing everything in my path. I'm still going to do it the way I do it. I'm still going to let the wasp live because I've got no reason to kill it before it stings me. And I feel that way about a lot of things and a lot of situations, but we are so naive as people that we think, again, I knew in the back of my mind that there was a possibility that wasp was going to sting me. It was a calculated risk that I'm going to let this wasp live because I know the worst case scenario is that he's going to sting me and it's going to be uncomfortable, it's going to suck, it's going to itch, whatever the case is. I knew by the off chance what the consequences were. And the problem is that right now we live in a society, in a situation where we're gambling with the wasp when we don't know the consequences. We don't know the repercussions of our actions. We don't know what a system collapse looks like. We have no idea what that looks like because we haven't experienced it. So we're playing with fire. We're going to get burned. We don't know when. We don't know how bad, but it's going to happen. It can't not happen. There's not a single civilization in the whole history of Everdom that has just gone on till the end of time. This one's no different. Like, we're in trouble here. A lot of people are ignoring it. A lot of people are turning a blind eye, and it's ugly. It's nasty. It's like, and the Band-Aid's about to get ripped off, and it's going to be disgusting. And I don't know where that leads, and I don't know what happens, but it sucks living in a society where every day people are shooting and killing and murdering and raping and bombing and molesting and all this crazy, crazy nonsense to each other. And it's a society that we live in as advanced civil creatures and beings. It's so bizarre to live in a society that claims to be civilized, and all of these things go on almost as if they're not even happening. Like, we just live our lives as if these things aren't even happening. And we're circling the drain as a society. I mean, every single day, there's a possibility of some crazy nuclear war. That's bizarre to think that we live in a society that's on the verge of collapse every single day. And people are just going about their daily lives like nothing's going on. Just got to get to work to pay these bills. Like, it's so freaking bizarre to me. It's so crazy. And I don't know what I'm rambling about, what I'm going on and on about. I'm frustrated. I'm furious with our species, with whatever creature we are or we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be a civilized being and creature, and we're not. We're savages. We're beasts. We're power hungry, drunk on convenience animals. And we're killing each other. We're killing each other one way or another, faster and faster, every single day, more and more every single day. And it's no curiosity to me that people are giving up and quitting. Like, it's just no curiosity. Like, I get it. I see it. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's not good, but I understand. Like, this is crazy talk. People are not getting married. People are not having kids. People are aborting babies. People are at war. People are dropping bombs. They're poisoning the air. They're poisoning the food. They're poisoning, like, it's so bizarre. Medicine's practically poison at this point. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. So I know I'm going to get called a whack job. I know I'm going to be called a conspiracy theorist and a doomsdayer or whatever the hell like name you're going to call me. But I'm just proud of myself for not cussing during this video. I'm exhausted. I'm frustrated. And I'm sick and tired of the violence, the crime, the hate, the toxicity, the background noise constantly of like hate and dysfunction and evil and wicked and just the terrible things that our species is capable of. Awful, horrific things that us as human beings are capable of. It's disgusting. It's disgusting what we're capable of. And that's how I feel about it. I'm really frustrated today. All right. I know this is probably just a big rambling session, made absolutely no sense. One day, I'll be smart enough to articulate what it is I'm thinking into words and make it make sense. One day. Not today, but someday. I love you guys. Take care of each other. We'll see you soon. Bye.